find it, 'cause it didn't run into, right.
It's right up there.
So,
Right there, Mayor. Lawnmower, muffler shop,
Okay.
yeah.
John, you ready? Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming this evening. Appreciate it. We're going to start off with the invocation. Councilman Blake.
So, yes, sir. Would everyone please stand, ladies and gentlemen? Secure your cell phones and pagers. May we bow our heads. Dear Heavenly Father, we want to say thank you once again for blessing us to be here in today's greatest city in the world. That's Cocoa, Florida. We'd like to thank each and every member being here, participating in this great society, this great government of ours, this democratic democracy government, a republicanism where we stand and vote and represent the thoughts of our people, of all people, because we're all God's children. We'd just like to say thank you for blessing us. We ask that you continue to bless our great nation, bless the men and women that protect us and serve us, from police department and fire department to the military, from everyone, teachers, doctors, and nurses. We ask this blessing in your sweet son named Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Face the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Did you hear that, Fred?
Yes, sir. $55 fine for the captain.
Get the flag, brother.
All right, we do a roll call.
Mayor Parrish?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Bover?
Here.
Councilman Blake?
Present, ma'am.
Councilman Furbish? Councilwoman Warner?
Here.
City Attorney Garganese?
I'm here.
City Manager Canich?
Here.
Assistant City Manager Freer?
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we'll go to the agenda in the minutes.
Motion to approve the regular meeting of March 8th as presented. Approve the minutes of the regular meeting of February 9th. Approve the minutes of the town hall meeting for February 16th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
What did I do?
Any opposed?
I second it, sir. You did a great job, as always.
My voice too deep for you?
Very good, very good. Didn't expect that. All right, so we're going to move to delegations. Lawrence Sinclair. Name and address for the,
Lawrence Sinclair, 1052 Mitchell Street, and darn it, Councilman Furbish isn't here tonight. That's the only reason I put the delegations card in. No, just joking. Just wanted to let you know we're still, you got that. We are still working on 507 North Georgia. We do have it cleaned up on the outside anyway. I've kind of been busy with a couple of other projects the last few weeks. But I'm now available to concentrate completely on that one. So hopefully by the next council meeting, we'll have something to tell you as far as how it's going. But it won't be demolished.
Good.
Okay?
good question for you. How many houses are you affecting, other than what you're doing in crime watch?
Well, the 409 North Fisk is now completely rehabbed and will be a rental property on the rental registry as of tomorrow, which it hasn't been. So that one will be taken off the black rolls or black market rolls of rental. And we brought a family of 6 from North Carolina into that house. So we did what you said, which was bring new people moving into to Cocoa. We've got 1051.
I just meant you got like 3 or 4 you're working on, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
Good, great. Lawrence, thank you. All right, so Paul Camus.
Paul, thank you. You too. Paul Camus, 116 Olive Street, Cocoa, 32922. Can you all hear me okay?
Yes.
Because usually I'm down like this, but
You can lift the mic up.
I can hear you.
how's that?
It's good.
Before I start in on what I wrote to be here for, I happened to pick up this on the way in. It's the first time I've got one of these. I apologize. But just flipping through, I just want to let you all know that I did get my calendar in the mail. And it's staying on the wall for the month of January 2016. We're not going through the other months because
I'm not
That's-
taking mine down.
that's the best one. And what also is great is all the news that you got inside that I'll touch bases on later on. But I just want to tell you right from the get-go, I appreciate the service that you all provide. I mean, I don't know how many walked here. I walked here tonight, and I'll walk home because, you know, I'm close and it's beautiful out. But in walking, or a lot of times I'm riding my bike, it gives me an opportunity to think of the job that you all do every day, and then to come here every 2 weeks, and then whatever other meetings you attend. The prayer breakfast Friday, I saw Councilwoman Warner there, which was great. That's the great part about being retired. I was available to go sit on that prayer breakfast, and what I learned from that, and also I learned recently the passing of my elementary school principal, Mr. James J. Clark.
Good man.
And what he went through, because he impressed upon us students, and we didn't know any better, was accepting God and Jesus as our Savior. But he took a lot of heat for doing that, but we didn't know any different, and through the years we grew up, and it was great. So that's why I'm here tonight. I'm speaking from the heart tonight. So I'll go ahead and start in on well, before I even start it, I just want to commend whoever's doing the work over there on South Fisk, south of the fire station. I mean, it was brought to my attention when Warren, I guess you all remember Warren, who was a homeless fellow, lived there at South Fisk and Holmes. And I guess he got relocated, and I think because he was there, it brought to light that little wooded section, and someone went in there and cleaned it up real nice, and it's beautiful. And I pedal my bike through there at least once a week, and it's awesome. And then today I noticed the Cocoa Recycle's no longer there, which it's cleaned up. So it looks great, and I just want to commend you guys for all you're doing in city staff. So I'll go ahead and get into what I'm here for. And back in July, August, whenever there was a District 2 town hall meeting here, I had asked if council, while our new fire trucks were still being built, based upon the fires that were going on in California, to install 2 booster reels on each new pumper. And then the mayor's town hall meeting not too long, a couple weeks ago, I had an opportunity to show the mayor, along with Councilman Furbush, the actual booster reel that's on one of the pumpers and how beneficial they are. You know, one thing about walking and riding a bike all the time, you see a lot of cigarette butts. And through my experience of 25 years here at Cocoa, and 4 years prior to that volunteering at 4 Communities Volunteer Fire Department in Williams Point, a lot of our grass fires and eventually became brush fires were due to cigarette butts not fully extinguished and thrown out. So that's where that booster line really came in handy, is you could just, it's got water in the line already, as opposed to the current line, which is flat, no water in it. You could quickly douse a fire, put the hose back up, and go on if there's another spot fire, for instance. So I'm here tonight to ask, is there any status on that? Are we going to get?
Chief Prince, what's your feelings on the
Well,
the booster hose? You know, the quick
I
reel.
think the best way to talk about it is to talk about when it was first mentioned back in July and August, those trucks were already designed and under production, and they were designed without them. We do have bumper and trash lines now that we use. They don't have water in them, so they're easier to deploy, and it takes about 5 seconds to get the water in them and move them. The old booster lines were good when they were there, but we had issues with other things happening that we didn't like. And these came down to a cost factor. They're nowadays, because they're not a normal piece of equipment that goes on one, they're pretty expensive, and we had to make a decision, and it was my decision to leave them off.
Okay. Well, what I've learned from James J. Clark, because as I said, he had issues when he was principal at Fairglen because of his belief. When he could not impress upon folks the need of something, he went to prayer. what I learned on the prayer breakfast on Friday, there was multiple prayers said, and that's the answer to is prayers. So my prayer will be that the city, because of the costs, will be able to come up with some funding. And as I said before, I've got 25 years' experience here, 4 years volunteer experience, and those booster reels need a piece of equipment. And I wouldn't be here tonight if I didn't think they were. So from this point, I'm going to just pray about it. So thank you for your service, and God bless.
Paul, thank you.
Thank you, Paul.
All right. So we're scared off. We're going to consent.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Alrighty. Now we'll move to public hearing. Anthony or Steve?
Yep.
Super Attorney?
I'm going to read it in. Ordinance number 04-2016, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Cocoa, Brevard County, Florida, changing the zoning map designation of one parcel of real property totaling 1.77 acres, more or less, generally located on the east side of Clear Lake Road, approximately 250 feet south of the Clear Lake University Boulevard intersection, Cocoa, Florida, more particularly depicted on Exhibit A attached here 2, from RU 215 multiple family dwelling to CG general commercial, providing for the repeal of prior and consistent ordinances, resolutions, severability, and an effective date. This is a public hearing, Mayor.
Okay. Steve, did you want to?
Yeah, just to provide a little background, this is the project you are all familiar with, the Clear Lake Isles, the US 1 RDA property across from the college. As you know, the council has previously approved the subdivision to subdivide into the 2 parcels, so the back parcel will be the elderly housing project. It's about a 10-acre parcel, about 7.5 acres, a little over 7.5 will be the residential component, 84-unit apartment complex. And then the front portion will be the commercial piece for future development. We don't have any specific project at this time, but we're marketing the property now. So the whole property right now has a zoning of RU 215 on it, and we need to, this is to change the zoning of the front portion, as indicated from Anthony, to the CG general commercial zoning designation. And back to Mayor and Council if you have any questions.
I don't, but I'm going to open it up to the public. Would anybody like to speak on this ordinance? It's in the audience tonight. They can come up. Okay, I'm going to close it to the audience and come back to council.
So move.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you.
Okay, next item is another ordinance, ordinance number 03-2016, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Cocoa, Brevard County, Florida, amending Appendix A zoning of the city code to define craft breweries and to allow craft breweries with a bar and/or lounge area as an accessory use in the CC zoning district, providing for the repeal of prior and consistent ordinances and resolutions, severability, incorporation into the code, and an effective date. This is first reading of this ordinance. Mayor.
Okay.
Yes, Mayor, just to provide some background on this application before you. The applicant, which is here tonight for Dirty Ore Beer Company, Christopher Hughes is the applicant, 2310 Papaya Place on Merritt Island, Florida. They came before us with the request. They have a location. This is a zoning text amendment to allow for a craft brewery within the core commercial zoning district. The applicant does have a specific location where they would like to operate their facility, which they have secured at this time. And there are some conditions we did place on the use. This will be a special exception use in the code, so any proposed craft brewery in the future in this zoning district would have to go before the Board of Adjustment for a special exception approval. And in the conditions we provided for the operation of a craft brewery with a bar and lounge as accessory use include on-site production is limited to beer only. The bar and lounge area associated with the brewery shall be permitted but shall not exceed 50% of the total square footage of the operation. The bar and lounge area associated with the brewery may serve beer and wine only, and no alcohol consumption other than that associated with the bar and lounge area shall be permitted on-site. And finally, all materials and supplies related to the brewery operation shall be stored in an enclosed structure. So the applicants are here if you have any questions of them. If not, I will turn it back over to you, to Mayor and Council.
So I have a question, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Belder, sir, exactly where is the exact location? Can you be a little more detailed with
Well,
that?
their proposed location is at 331 King Street. It's actually in the, I'll describe it as the orange building next to Norman's on King Street.
Say that again, please.
Yes, sir.
It's right on, it's on 331 King Street. It's next to Norman, the orange building, right on
Oh, yeah.
King. That's where the applicants are proposing. Again, this is a text amendment, so this would allow this use anywhere within the core commercial zoning district.
They have orange building on the side.
They're going
Exactly.
into Rocket City Retro's old
Right.
place.
Right, yes, ma'am.
Correct.
Okay, I just want to know exactly detail. And I know there have been other establishments that serve alcohol in that same building, in the same facility.
And,
I don't have a problem with it. My greatest concern is just being good, respectable neighbors, and I have no doubt in my mind that they will do just that, sir.
yes, and that's why we recommended it being a special exception use. Therefore, some additional conditions could be imposed on any specific use, depending on the location, regarding parking or whatever other issues they need to protect the surrounding properties.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the first reading of ordinance 03.
So, the public.
Yeah, the public.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's
I thought you had opened it back to us. I'm sorry.
That's right. Okay, we're gonna,
Forgive me.
that's good. We're gonna open this up to the public. Anybody in the public want to speak on this ordinance? Special exception. Okay, we'll close it to the public, bring it back to council.
Mr. Mayor, I would like to approve the first reading of ordinance 03-2016, amending Appendix AZ zoning to define craft breweries to allow craft breweries with a bar lounge area as an accessory in the use of a CC core commercial zoning district.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Good. All right, thank you. First reading. All right, we'll go to council business. And, Tammy?
Yes, sir. This is to approve the appointment of David Jolly as a regular member of the Utilities Advisory Board through November 2017.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Welcome.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you, David.
Thanks for coming. All right.
Can I ask a question, Mr. Mayor? Yep. Are you related to Jolly Junkers?
No.
Same last name or pronunciation? Different spelling? Okay, so, I mean, that was a good person. I knew Jolly Junkers.
She was a wonderful lady.
Yeah.
You really is my place.
Good. Hey, Captain. I'll stop the meeting just for a second. Did you want to say something? You guys, I apologize on the delegation. His card was hidden. I found his card later. So. Yeah, I know. But it's my fault.
He went home crying, but he came back.
A few meetings ago, Ed Lanny, Mayor, Council, 939 North Indian River Drive. A couple of meetings ago, Councilman Furbish mentioned the veterans and the homeless. The other day, I was down in the park, and under the building there must have been 13 homeless sitting around, laying around. and it's kind of hit home to me. Because I was homeless once. I roamed the streets of New York with a nickel and a penny in my pocket, so I could say I was never broke, so I know what it's like. Not too long ago, a guy was walking down in front of my house, and I stopped and talked to him. Not only was he homeless, he was a veteran, so I gave him a bicycle. And about 3 weeks later, I see him walking down across. So what happened? He said, some other SO you-know-what stole my bike. So I had to get him another bike. Well, my point is this. Isn't there something that we can do? Now, Charleston, they collect them, put them to work, clean the streets, picking up things, and find them a place to live. Now, you remember Rudy Stone had that place. Well, when I laid up my ship, the Vanguard, I gave him 130 sheets, 130 pillows, stuff like that. That is what you can do. Can't we take over a building, go to an owner who's been trying to sell his building, and take over a building, go to the Navy, and say, listen, we need some bedding, so on and so forth, and put these people up, and then turn them to in a day, walking around, cleaning up the streets, and so on and so forth. Give them something to do, give them a place where they can take a bath and sleep right, instead of sleeping out there in front of the library and things like that. I wished I was in better shape. I'm just not in good enough shape to get onto it myself, but it seems to me that there's something that we can do about this situation. I think we ought to take that into consideration. There's ways to do it, I'm sure. I'm sure that, well, what's that empty building next to Norman's? Been empty for a long time. Put a bunch of bunks in places in there and have them a place to sleep, things like that. Put them to work during the daytime. That's my concern. Thank you.
It's not a bad-
Appreciate you calling me up.
Thanks,
Sir,
Cap.
I thought you left. Okay. Thanks, Captain. Yeah, it's a problem.
God bless you.
Okay. Steve, you're next.
Yes, Mayor, this is a code enforcement lien reduction request for property located at 809 Washington Street. The Code Enforcement Board held a public hearing on November 20, 2014. At that time, finding the owner, U.S. Bank N.A. trustee, in violation of accessory structure, fence, and windows. The Code Board provided the owner sufficient time to correct the violations, and consistent with the Code Enforcement Board's order, a lien was recorded against the property effective December 5, 2014. The lien ran at $50 per day from December 5, 2014 until compliance was achieved on December 4, 2015. Lien is $18,200, and the current owner, Pedro Mendoza, is requested that the lien be reduced to $3,200. Staff recommended to the Code Enforcement Board at its February 18, 2015 meeting to reduce the lien to the requested $3,200. Code Enforcement Board unanimously recommended approval to reduce the lien to $1,820, 10% of the total lien. Staff concurred, and also at this time is recommending that that council follow Code Enforcement Board's recommendation to reduce the lien to $1,820.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right. Okay, Steve.
Okay, and the next request to forgive code enforcement lien for property located at 1040 Willow Lane. The Code Enforcement Board held a public hearing on May 19, 2011, finding the owner Countrywide Home Loans in violation of accessory structure and protective treatment. The Code Enforcement Board provided the owner sufficient time to correct the violations. Lien was recorded against the property effective June 20, 2011. The lien ran at $100 per day from June 20, 2011 until compliance was achieved on August 31, 2012. Current owner, Ventures Trust, 2013, is requesting that the lien be forgiven. Staff recommended to the Code Board to reduce the lien to $500 and the Code Enforcement Board unanimously recommended to reduce the lien to $500 at its February 18, 2015 meeting. And therefore, staff is recommending council to reduce the lien to $500 per the Code Board recommendation.
Okay, Mr. Blake?
Yeah, quick question. Will the $500 cover our administrative costs and fees and background research, et cetera, et cetera?
In this situation, I would say yes, it will, sir.
Okay. I'm in favor of it.
Motion approved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Good. Very good. All right. Now, go to Jack.
Yes, item 8, city business. Number 1, to approve task order 2016-14 with Joe Bear Contracting Incorporated for the West Point Drive manhole replacement and Victor Road sewer repair. Project number WS 1412, and to approve a resolution amending the FY 2016 budget. I'm here to answer your questions about that project if you have any.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Jack, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wallace.
All right. Anybody from an advisory board or a committee would like to speak? It's in the audience. Dave? Good. All right. So we'll start with city administration. Ed, reports.
You always start over here.
I always do this. I always
We're getting
go.
predictable here.
Oh, we know you're always short, that's why we want you first.
Go Gators.
Got to keep sharp here. Just to update council on the Space Coast TPO, the Citizens Advisory Committee and Technical Advisory Committee met Monday morning at 9:30. There was 2 items on the agenda that related to COCO. One was the All Aboard Florida station location, the other was Clear Lake Road. These items were approved. They go to the TPO board Thursday morning with the Citizens and Technical Advisory Committee recommendations. Briefly on the All Aboard Florida, as you recall, the city put forth 4 locations, along with a 5th joint location with Rockledge, the Cocoa Rockledge location at Rosa Jones. The next one north is at Plaza Parkway. The next one north of that is just south of Michigan. Cocoa location 3 was just south of 528, more or less behind Walmart. And then Cocoa location 4 was just north of 528.
And the number 1 pick was
The
behind
number
Walmart.
1 was city Cocoa location number 3, which was Walmart, for any easier terminology. That was the preferred location that the consultant came up with in the interim period. Actually, on Saturday, TPO staff met with the All Aboard Florida president and discussed what the TPO was doing, what their findings were, and actually, they recommended not putting forth just 1 location, but 3 possible locations. And those 3 locations are the Cocoa Rockledge location, and then the 2 locations north and south of 528.
Okay.
And then the next step will be.
We approved that.
That was approved. There was a little bit of discussion.
I'm sure.
A lot of discussion. There was a couple nay votes on the Citizen Advisory Committee from members that represent the city of Melbourne.
Yeah, we know they're doing a little campaign to try to
Right.
convince.
Can we expect anything on the TPO board on Thursday with that?
I would guess that there may be some discussion from Melbourne on considering, actually, the proposal was to put forth all the sites and let the railroad decide. Of course, the purpose of the study was to recommend a site, and came close, got 3 sites, 2 of them real close together. So that's what's being proposed. And I think the board of the TPO will meet Thursday morning and make a
Well,
final recommendation to the.
Ed, you're going, right?
I will go, but, staff had their chance Monday.
Right.
This is for the elected representatives
Okay.
to.
So, Don, you going?
Yeah.
Okay, Brenda, you gonna back up?
I'll be
John,
there.
you going?
Yes, I will be going.
Okay, good.
So we will,
Just-
I will plan to be there also.
You know the meeting's not held at the
Yes, it's at the
health
Posey.
building.
Right, it's at the Posey Conference
Posey.
Room at the Health Department.
Also, just to let you know, I've been concerned the last month because of the program, or let's just say the campaign they have going to bring it to Melbourne. And it's ludicrous, it's crazy, because, we have the Space Center and we have the port, and that's the reason why COCO, or Coco Rock, which COCO is going to get and I want to make sure that everybody knows that. That's, I don't want to hear about any shenanigans at Melbourne.
Right, well,
I even know the train, the all aboard folks, they don't want to put it there. You know what I mean? So,
Right. Well, based on
Wanna
the
make it
actions
clear.
of the CAC and the CAC, if there's a train station in Brevard, it will be in Cocoa somewhere.
yeah. I just thought it was kind of crazy, but,
Either way, the Cocoa
District
Rockwood
one.
site
Yep.
or the North Cocoa sites.
District
Cocoa
one, sir.
still wins.
Okay. But thanks for bringing that up. It was on my notes at the end.
Yes.
And, and let's just make sure we man it, we make sure no shenanigans going on. 'Cause I'm not gonna say anything I know, I just want to make sure we represent,
You can go too if you want.
Also, at the same meeting, the TPO approved the recommended build alternative for Clear Lake Road. It's very coincidental that these things are coming
How about
together
that?
at the same time. So, the resolution that,
The council person.
that you approved is what the Technical and Citizens Advisory Committee approved to go to the board Thursday.
let's face it, Site 3 for all aboard
This council.
is the site, and that'll affect Site 3 heavy. So,
Right.
it makes sense to
So-
me.
Either way, there's good access to all the sites, and this is a big,
Big deal.
It's a big deal.
This is a big deal. This is something we thought about 2.5 years ago, I'm talking about when we decided to
Right.
support, so, okay. Anybody want to say anything on that? No? That's so interesting. I can talk about it for a half hour. Anything else?
Peachtree Street is coming along.
Looks good.
Half the road got paved. They're finishing up curb and gutter and look to pave recycle the pavement. They grind it all up in about 2 weeks.
Okay.
And then paving comes after that, so the end is in sight. The underground stuff is almost done, so it'll be curb, sidewalk, and
Great,
finish up.
great.
On Peachtree Street, Mr. Mayor, you
No,
finished?
go ahead.
Yes, sir. On Peachtree Street, they're gonna put the emblem there, right there, Peachtree Street.
Yes, there will be a diamond in the square in the intersection of Fisk and Peachtree.
Awesome.
That's the very last thing. It's kind of the final polish on the job, but that'll be after the landscaping. That'll, there's 2 coats of asphalt. We've got the first coat of asphalt down. They'll put the second layer of asphalt down, and then there's a cure period, and then they'll do it's an epoxy overlay over the asphalt. So that is part of the job.
Right.
One more other question, just for the record. Sure. We had pre-existing telephone pole lights there, sir. Are they gonna enhance the wattage or increase it so it can be, put a greater spotlight areas in some of those dark side?
Yes and yes. We actually have a proposal in with FPL where they will remove all the old lights and put up LED lights and more. So we have more white LED lights going up, and we'll be taking down the old yellow lamps that are out there. But they will be FPL lights that'll be maintained by FPL. We will pay the upfront. It'll be $30,000 to $50,000 initial investment, and then FPL will maintain those for the rest of their life.
Thank you. LED lights is,
It should put the finish on it when we're done.
yes, sir.
FPL, we'll see how quick they move. We'll see if we can beat them with the asphalt, so.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I want it looking like Las Vegas, man.
It'll be lit up, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good. Okay, Ed. That's it?
That's it.
That's great. Great news so far. That's good. Tara?
No report.
Chief Gallant?
A couple things. Council reports, on our reports that we provide to you guys each month on the stats. We found some inconsistencies that we're working through right now, so that's why you haven't seen the reports. I was just going to ask for forgiveness until we can make sure that we have the numbers right. As soon as we do, we will begin putting those back into the agenda items. And the second thing is Breakfast with the Chief, Thursday morning, 8 o'clock at the Civic Center. We'll again have chicken and waffles. So if you're available, please come out.
We're going to be at the Buell meeting. Can you deliver?
Stop by real fast.
It is right. Okay. Thanks, Chief. Chief Prince?
Well, just a little update. Progress has been making on taking the designs that you guys approved for fire stations and doing the things it takes to make them into a building. ADG is hard at work. We're kind of just waiting for them to send us information and talk about things that they ask questions about. And so I just wanted to give you a quick update on that, let you know they're moving along. Nothing to bring back to council yet, but when we get there, we'll be bringing a report. So thank you.
Great news. Thank you. Steve?
No report tonight, sir.
Good. Jack?
Yes, sir, I have just one item. If you remember two council meetings ago or so, I read into the record a statement about water quality in Flint, Michigan.
Oh,
and
yes.
Related to
Saw
our
your
water
video.
quality here. And I just wanted to point out that we had, with this help of our Sam and Yvonne from the police department, put together a video of me at the plant a few weeks ago, kind of hit on the same issues and kind of went into detail as to why our water is extremely safe to drink and how to, address, or basically address people's concerns in the most general way, non-technical way I could convey. And she did a great job. Just wanted to recognize her and Yvonne and thank them for doing that, and that link is on the homepage. That's all.
Man, that was taken out of the box. That was smart. Great video. Lets people understand how it works. And I think you got 1 million hits. Views.
Thanks.
It was good, real good.
For you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
The only thing I have is to notify people of the city's current postings, job opportunities on our website. There's a couple electrician positions, GIS administrator, plans examiner, and a few utility mechanics. And our IT just put the link on the backdrop here. So, to the website. And if anybody needs assistance, say they don't have a computer, they can come into City Hall here. If they need help with the online application, our staff and Human Resources would be happy to assist them.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. Angela, you want to say anything? No. Okay. We'll go to Super Attorney Garganese.
No report.
Okay. Efficient.
Skip the last two then.
Assistant City Manager, Matt?
No report, sir.
Give him the shovel.
Did John tell you that? Did he say that?
Give him the shovel.
Yeah, well, he'll just say it at the time. I know what's going on. Okay. Here we go. Mr. Canage.
Just a couple items, Mr. Mayor.
Okay.
One, just want to report that the acquisition of the trailer park property has occurred.
Great.
Number two, March 11th, which is 3 days from now, the legislative session will end, and two of our three requests are included in the budget that will be presented to the governor.
We want to know how long the governor has his pen out. Does he have 2 weeks to veto? Or?
I think he has longer than that.
God.
It wasn't like.
You know what? That's okay.
I forget the exact number because normally if it ends in May, he's got till. I forget the exact number because, we're on the off.
like 20
It's a different, yeah, it's like 30 days or something like that. So I'll find out and I'll email everybody. And then the last, or second to last thing is just, follow up to last meeting. March 30th, I know the city clerk's office, assistant city clerk's been in touch for the purposes of trying to schedule a utilities workshop, which will review capital projects and the future staffing needs of the utilities. And then immediately following that meeting, there'd be an executive work session semi-related to that. Now, the question for council is 5 or 5:30, your preference?
5:30.
5:30.
5:30.
I concur.
That's the 30th, right?
Yes. The 30th, yes. And the last thing, I received an email from the Space Coast Women in Defense, and they are announcing, just came in yesterday, that they have scholarship opportunities specifically for female high school, undergraduate, or graduate students who reside in Brevard County, Florida, enrolled in or accepted in an accredited university or college, either full-time or part-time. And they provide scholarships for those that are in the STEM, the science, technology, engineering, mathematics fields studying. I'll have Samantha post it. There's a link. It's a $1,000 scholarship. Apparently last year they provided 2, and they're hoping to award more this year. So we're passing along the word, and we'll make sure it gets out on the website to increase the opportunity for COCO and others students to apply for that. And that's the last thing, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Thanks. Man, that was short. Matt, you want to say something? No? If you can, in a couple weeks or so, if you have any more about the mooring, what are the boats out there, and the sunk boats and all that. I don't want to hear it tonight because I know we're still waiting. All right, thanks. Brenda?
I would just like to thank the YMCA for a great fundraising breakfast last Friday, for those of you who didn't make it. Breakfast was great, the speaker was great, and it was a wonderful turnout of community leaders, and we all had a really good time, and they always do a fabulous job, and as usual, Leroy Darby is a fabulous, not only chairman of the YMCA board, but MC for events like that, and that's their 12th year doing it at the Civic Center, and we'll be back again next year, I'm sure.
Awesome.
That's it.
Very good. Mr. Blake?
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. Thank you very much, sir. Well, hello, my fellow Earthlings. I'm happy to give you a presentation today. I want to start it off by saying had the opportunity to, myself and the mayor and our cohorts, to attend the grand opening of the baseball ceremonies at Stradley Park, from little T-ball all the way up to girls softball and baseball. Bob received a park named after him, Bob Weagle. We were all there in full force, and the chief as well. And we were tanning our buns in the early morning sun, having a great time, because it's all about our greatest possession, which is our kids. And I was happy to say that excellent turnout. Everyone fully cooperated. They were looking great in their uniforms. And if you dress for success, you will act successful. And I was glad to say that we had an acknowledgement of our mayor there. And I asked the citizens to remember Parish 2016. And they assured me that they would do that. Now, I know, Mr. City Manager. Don't worry about it. I attended another event at the Black History Project with General Cotton at the Crown Plaza. General Cotton was the big dog at Patrick Air Force Base. He was the commander base there. And I had the opportunity to acknowledge him, and I was very proud of that. Also, we had an event at the Omega Psi-Phi. Our keynote speaker was William Capote, Mayor Capote from Palm Bay, during Black History Month. And everything went well, I'm happy to say, too. In conjunction, we had an event at Provost Park. Deborah Dukes and her troops, the mayor was in attendance. Yes, excellent turnout. Fed the people, brought the people up to speed, up-and-coming events that will be taking place at Provost Park. So we asked, come one, come all, get involved. to make a well-informed decision, you must be educated. So please get involved. Secondly, thirdly, let me say it that way. There's an issue with the construction, Mr. City Manager. I know I talked with you briefly about Berkshire having a sidewalk that's running east and west. There's one there in front of the home, but on that corner lot there, they do not have the continuation of the sidewalk connecting to US 1, intersecting with US 1. And they stated that the state said that we would have to address that issue or give them permission to do it. So that's where former Councilman Bruce Tate resides there. And there's that issue about continuity of the sidewalk, sir.
Right. We have exchanged quite a few emails with the FDOT contractor because that was one of our issues to connect the sidewalks. To put it bluntly, the contractor has turned very adversarial, threatening lawsuits, and right now DOT is not authorizing any extra work. So what we'll do is wait till the job finishes up and then see what needs to be done. If it's feasible for the city to do it, we'll do it. But right now, we're going to let the contractor get done what was in his original scope of work. And I know one of the streets, I'm not sure which one it is, there's a big elevation change.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
and it may not be possible to put the sidewalk on the north side because of the slope. That's something we'll have to look at.
Okay, but the thing is, if they do not put the sidewalk on that side, people would have to walk out in the street. And when you're coming down that steep slope, that steep slope, you're almost right on the front cover
Right.
of US 1. And we're looking at a safety issue too
Right,
as
we,
well.
we may have to end the sidewalk and put a pedestrian crossing to use the south side or something, but if that's the street I'm thinking of, you would be looking at a retaining wall and how it works with the driveway to that lot, to the last lot. It may not be feasible to get the sidewalk in. We may have to cross those people over to the south side to get them out to US 1. But that'll be something we'll have to wait and see.
Please collaborate with the homeowner, sir.
Yeah, we will, and right now it's in DOT's hand, and we'll, that was the one that I don't know how it's going to get done. Retaining wall would cost $30,000 to $50,000 possibly. So
My greatest concern is safety for the pedestrians.
absolutely, yes, and there's ways to address that.
Okay, but Mr. Weigriff, sir, you're a family man, you're a dad, and one of the famous concerns that, Dad, you do it for one, you have to do it for us all.
Yep.
So, I think if we can have some equitable, and be fair, and have some type of continuity there, sir, being fair and equitable across the board, I sincerely would appreciate it.
We'll look at it.
Thank you kindly, sir.
That's good.
All right, one other thing, the next thing, cohort Tyler Furbish, sir, get better, we love you. Want to say, Dad, welcome home, sir. Dad got in, released from the hospital this week. I'm happy to say he's home and is back to his normal tendency, demanding, delegating his authority by me being the son. 2 famous words, yes, sir, and yes, sir. And last but not least, buy local, spend local, keep it local. Thank you all citizens of Cocoa, city manager and staff, and workers and employees of the great city of Cocoa. Thank you very much. And citizens. That's it. Thank you.
Great report.
No report, sir.
Yeah, okay. And I'll be brief. The Cocoa Little League was great. That was a great turnout this weekend. Mike and I had a good time. The legislative agenda, I think everybody hit my stuff. John talked about it. We're watching that very closely. I feel pretty good about some of this here. And then we'll go to the, Ed had the county commissioner on Friday, and we walked Liberty Lake Drive. And I don't want to guarantee anything, but he's in favor of improving it. In other words, sidewalks and some lights, and I thought that was pretty good. So it's not going to affect us, but I get the phone calls. And, so I know you're talking to their staff, and so he's going to push it and probably be something in their budget coming up, October. So just let you know. But it's a big deal because our $2.6 million we put in Peachtree, it kind of continues. Maybe not as nice, but it'll be safe, So, all right, then we also walked Lee Winter Park, and I think the county believes in the Port of Cocoa and what we're trying to do out there. I feel pretty good about some county input and some county support. Again, they work pretty well with us. So, then of course the All Board Thursday we'll know. That'll be a great meeting for Cocoa. I believe so. And then at the end, I just want to ask the citizens of Cocoa, especially the ones who've lived here a long time and seen. Maybe they were pretty old. Maybe they've seen it really good and then not so good, and now it's getting a lot better. And I asked the citizens of Cocoa to help promote the city, and that means just to be positive and tell it like it is.
That's right.
Help us improve the city to a point where we can we have the best city. And I said that at the Little League in front of South Cocoa's city manager, and he got all nervous. And but that's the way it is. We have a great city, great town, great location, all the assets, the best people, and I look for great things this year. I know we got a lot of things coming down the pipe. So that's it. And have a great night. Thank you,
Motion to adjourn.
everybody.
Second.
Yep. All in favor?
Aye. Good job.